We are now officially on number 40. And yet again, this leads me back to the Fire Emblem camp of representation. But sniping is fun. Who else is left to talk about for the Fire Emblem series? A lot of people, actually. But aren't those characters a little too old? Yes and no. My name is Sniping is Fun, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about a possible retro, older Fire Emblem character, Sigurd, from the game, and I am obviously going to try to pronounce this, and I'm probably going to F it up, but Fire Emblem Seisen no Taifu, or other known as Genealogy of the Holy War, if you want to go in the English terms. Which I think is the fourth game in this series, released back in 1996 on the Super Famicom. Okay, now Sigurd was basically the main character of that game. Now, why would I think about an older character getting in? Well, first and foremost, when it comes to Sigurd, he was technically originally, I think, supposed to be in Melee over Roy, but they put Roy in because of advertising reasons. So maybe he could finally get his chance to come back in. And at least in terms of popularity and demand, he's not as big as, say, wanting Roy back in, or a newer character, probably like a Kamui or a Ryoma or a Marx or whatever, like getting a newer character or getting like a returning character like, Roy back in. But in terms of characters that want something different from Fire Emblem, and possibly some more characters that represent the older generation of Fire Emblem, he's probably one of the bigger choices, and it can kind of come and make his actual legit debut in the Smash Bros. Series. Because I think originally he was supposed to be in it. He was supposed to be him and Marth, I believe, as far as I remember hearing. And popularity and demand is not really there, but in terms of other Fire Emblem characters I hear talked about, I do believe I've heard him mentioned a bit here and there. In terms of moveset potential, he is a Knight Lord, so it's basically another Lord type character. But I do think he's capable of using lances, and I think he's capable of riding a horse. So you can kind of integrate that into his moveset to make sure he's not like an Ike clone or a Marth clone or a Roy clone or whatever clone. Make him different. Like maybe make him capable of riding his horse. Maybe the horse is a big part of his moveset, like how the motorcycle is a big moveset potential for Wario. Have him be able to use his lance. Maybe have him be able to switch his moveset, like switch his weapon maybe. Or maybe just give him the lance in general and forget the sword entirely, which would be totally different because we don't have a lance user yet for Fire Emblem. And it's just a classic character. It could be a classic Fire Emblem character. And I think he has more of a shot now if you would demand him than in Smash Bros. 5 when Fire Emblem If starts kicking in with newer characters and Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem and any future 3DS Fire Emblem games. I'm sure we're gonna get at least one more Fire Emblem game after If on the 3DS. And then remember, there's a next handheld that's gonna come out eventually. The Wii U could potentially get a legit Fire Emblem game, not Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. And there's always a next system. There's gonna be more and more Fire Emblem characters. And Nintendo does technically, especially Masahiro Sakurai, does tend to focus more on recent characters a lot of times. So a lot of older characters tend to get shunned. But we're in the fighter ballot where almost anyone's possible. So if people want an older Fire Emblem character, it's there. And Sigurd, I think, is one of the top choices for that. He would certainly be interesting. Sure, he'd be another blue-haired character, but if they do a moveset potential that's different, like the use of the horse, the use of the lance, the use of different types of weapons, he would make an awesome character and be totally, totally unique. And that's just my thoughts. Put in the comment section what you guys think. Do you want to see someone like Sigurd, the old, from the fourth Fire Emblem on the Super Nintendo, main hero, at least in the first half of the game, I believe? Remember, we never got these games, and that's me looking up this information to try to hopefully say what I can. Would you want to see him in there? Have you voted for him? Or do you think it's possible an older character over a newer character could potentially make it into the future? I don't really think so. I think his one and only shot, or any older Fire Emblem character shot, is if a character is fan demanded, like in this, Smash Bros. Fighter ballot. I think once the next game comes around, any old character is going to, unless there's a remake of a game, is pretty much shot. It's going to be basically Fire Emblem if in the future. But I think it'd be kind of cool if it was DLC for now to get someone like him in. But like I said, did you vote for him? Do you think he should get in any other older classic Fire Emblem character? Or do you think it's a done deal and there's no chance whatsoever? In the comment section what you guys think. And I'll see you guys later in my next video. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I'm going to be doing the Fire Emblem Marathon in terms of older characters for the next 9 spots. Up until number 50. Or should I say really 49. So stay tuned and have more fun watching other older characters like Sigurd. Bye!